Oh God. Oh God. Hotter. I'm gonna stuff my face with Pepperidge Farm. So.
Welcome to the I2 Comics Revue!
I don't know why I did that with my hands so much. This is Karla, aka Low Rent Olivia Munn.
Damn.
God
damn.
damn.
I'm being too nice by saying Olivia Munn.
Low rent.
I'm being too nice saying
No, I was just bringing it back up.
more like RC Renaissance or whatever.
And I'm Menissa, and I'm staring into the soul of this camera.
I'm Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
What?
AKA Elias.
I'm gonna call you Rudy for the rest of this episode.
I can deal with that.
Rudy Tootie, Fruity in the booty.
Yeah.
So, movie magic. Menissa's back.
Hey.
Is it? I mean, like,
And
it's
do
movie
I have a
magic?
It is
story
movie
for
magic
you guys?
because it's been a week, so we had time to cut her in.
Well, because movie magic would mean she's edited in. You know what I mean? Like, it's like when my hand comes over here,
Yeah,
it like cuts out.
yeah.
Because she's not actually.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We did it.
We made it.
My
We made it,
boss,
guys. We made it.
my boss let me escape from my prison
Mhm.
and go to North Carolina for literally 2 days when I had to drive up and down. It was fun though. I got to see my family.
Like we came back half dragon with those cool
I know. On
She's-
top of that, I saw someone almost die in my Uber today.
Yeah, we received a text message from Menissa saying this girl just had a seizure in the Uber, and I'm like, what?
Nothing against people with epilepsy, but that was really fucking intense.
Oh, that's what happened?
I guess so. My Uber driver was like, this is a hot mess. That's what she said.
Were you in Uber carpool?
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
But
okay.
only, don't take an Uber. Honestly, the $4 was not worth it.
Sorry.
The cheaper. You know the episodes that I've watched before? You do this thing where you forget you have glasses on and you just like knock them off
I constantly
your face.
forget that I have glasses
And I
on.
laugh every time because you're like, whoops.
I think the worst one is like I went to where I go get my haircut. I'm pretty sure I don't know if it's like everywhere. It's this place called Razzle Dazzle or something.
Oh, yeah, rather than
They massage you. It's expensive.
Yeah, I know.
They massage you in junk, right?
Are you sure this is a barber
Miracle
shop?
Mile.
That's
So
nice.
I'm like sitting there. I'm sitting there, and they do great work. But then this lady comes over. She starts like massaging my hands. The thing is, she bathes my hands in lotion,
And then
right?
she sucks your
So I'm
neck.
like, bruh.
I'm wondering if this is really a
This is actually the
legitimate
Razzle
barber
Dazzle's
shop.
Asian
I let her
massage.
I let her do whatever she's gonna do, and I'm like sitting there and enjoying this entire experience. And then the guy goes to me. He's like, "Oh, you want to see if it's coming out right? Put
What
your
is
glasses
coming
on."
out right?
My hair.
this,
Your
all of
blow
these
up
things.
or your hands.
So-
If you're coming out right.
Yeah. He told me to
True
put on
that.
my glasses, and like I have them, you know, here. Sorry.
Things.
And
And I
Just
tried
your
to.
things.
Yeah. You saw that? You guys saw that? You saw
I
when
saw
Menissa's
that.
hand went.
Yeah.
I went like
I
this.
was
Can I
wondering.
grab this?
Bro.
So you're only hurting
Damn.
yourself.
She went
She
in
went
with
like this. She was like, "Can I grab it?"
She went in with
Like,
tweezers.
Damn.
Wait.
Inching it out.
Listen to my
Anyway.
glasses.
Anyway, so the guy's like, "You want to see how the hair is coming out?" I'm like, "Sure." So he goes, "Put your glasses on." I'm like, "All right." And I forgot I had lotion on my hands, so I grabbed my glasses. The next thing I know, I put them on. It's just like, it's fucking awful. It's just smearing.
Was that
like,
lotion or
all-
jizz?
So you're keeping your glasses, this is what you're telling us.
Bruh, maybe I might have. It would have been. It'd have been the perfect thing to put on my glasses. Would have been the jizz, and then walk around all day with those.
Crust, jizz crust on your
Yeah.
glasses.
You got a little something. You got a little. Is that hair gel?
So I'm
You
like,
just
right?
came from Razzle Dazzle, I can tell.
Razzle dazzle is what they call it when they're done.
Finishing move.
Yeah.
About to give you the razzle dazzle. That's what their hands do.
Jesus Christ. What is that? So where were you?
I was in North Carolina.
Where were you?
Shooting, hunting, fishing, killing.
I didn't even hear hunting. I had to stop and think. What was
Shooting,
that?
hunting, fishing.
What was that noise you made in the middle?
It's like, sure, honey. Fishing.
Right, hunting, shooting, fishing.
How
What
was it?
like?
What was it
It's
like?
good. Was it fun? Was it cool?
I didn't waste my time hanging out with any exes, so I'm proud of myself. Everyone give me a round of
Damn.
applause. For going there, not drinking.
Yo.
Not drinking and driving. I drank. I got drunk with my sister.
Nice.
Wait,
your sister got drunk?
And me and my sister took shots. And my sister got so wasted, I had to stay sober to make sure I didn't embarrass the family name completely. Her and my cousin got so drunk, I was like, I have to be sober for the family. Like, I was taking shots.
This is for my family.
Yeah,
and you poured the bottle down.
I was taking shots, but my body would not let me get drunk. So I was like, this is so bad right now. Yeah. They were telling me stories, and I was like, I can't even believe I'm hearing this right now.
Oh no.
Charlene, Francesca, I don't respect you guys anymore.
Oh no.
You guys are way worse than me.
Welcome back, Menissa. We're glad to have you back. Save us from all the penis talk that we were doing. Because that's all it ever leads to if you leave me and Elias alone.
Lots and lots of penis.
So much penis.
So much penis.
You would think that you like penis, Elias, the amount of penis that you talk about.
That's what I said.
I figure,
I
right?
think you just appreciate
I guess. I mean,
The
the penile.
The
penile shit.
well, I can tell you that I love my penis like unconditionally.
I hope so.
I bet you do.
I do.
I have no doubt in my mind.
Do you show it love unconditionally?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, like constantly. Well,
Constantly. I'm
God.
masturbating as we
all the
speak.
time. Well, yeah.
My hands aren't in frame.
I'm
so
a
you
pre-
Yeah,
can't
you
know.
can't see what I'm doing with my hand, but my right here.
When
is
you
just
see me
going
do a
like-
shimmy shake, you know
Yeah.
what?
So welcome to our follow-up. We're going to be talking about the shit that we read about last week. Except Menissa dropped both of her comics in the last Hit It or Quit It. So she's going
cut
to...
a bitch off.
So, I mean, pointless to do a follow-up. So she's going to actually do a throwback follow-up to previous episodes, issues that we read in previous episodes, series that we've read. Alright, I'm going to start us off with Snotgirl issue 2. That is the one written and drawn, created by Brian Lee O'Malley, popular from Scott Pilgrim, the Scott Pilgrim series and Seconds. It is... I'll still read it. I liked it, I will say. In the second issue, I'll suffice it to save from any spoilers, I'll suffice it to say that it turns into a murder mystery. And Snotgirl may or may not be implicated in the murder.
In the murder.
So, I felt gross doing that.
Oh.
I was doing Steve Martin from that movie that he did.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Hamburger!
Yeah.
Hamburger!
Hamburger!
This is gonna go on for
So
hours,
you-
guys. Sit tight. Just make yourself comfortable.
What'd you like about the?
Okay, so I may have some notes. I liked the... What are you reading?
No, it's just the notes make me laugh. Like she's just like, no, and then she's like down here.
This is a journal from school, so it has all the stories that I wrote when I was in journalism school.
Oh.
The internal monologues that she was having with herself were reminiscent of Scott Pilgrim's internal monologues in that it would be like she's thinking about something serious. So, like I said, there was a murder. So she's thinking about the murder, and then she's like, oh, that gives me a good idea. And then she'll get sidetracked by something stupid. So for the murder, she's like, oh, that makes me think of something actually. And then she's like painting her nails because she's like, good thing I remembered to get my nails done. That I like. That's totally like Brian's style of writing, I think, from reading all of Scott Pilgrim and not reading Seconds. But I feel like that's his style, and that's what I liked about Snotgirl. So if you're not used to that, if you're reading Snotgirl off the bat, not used to that sort of writing, you're probably going to get thrown off a little bit by it. Just because it does, like, the shit she says comes from left field, and you're just kind of like, what? And then you have to bring yourself back and realize that's just how he writes.
She just has ADD.
Yes!
I feel like all of his characters
Have ADD.
Like the main ones at
Yes.
least, you know what I mean? Because even
Yes.
in Seconds, the main chick is just like all over the place.
Right, I think that's exactly it. Like, they just all have ADD, and like, all their attention just fucking
It's
goes
just
all
always,
over the
yeah,
place.
it's always gone.
But I liked it. I mean, if you guys are reading it off again, you don't have any context to his writing, just give it a chance. I think it's good. I don't recommend reading issue to issue because it is, again, like a mystery, so there is a story to it, and I think you're probably going to save your money buying the whole series.
The trade.
Yeah, buying the trade. That way you're not frustrated reading issue to issue. There's not enough payoff at the end to justify
Like
buying issue to issue.
Each one individually.
Yeah. The only con that I had is, well, that. Yeah, buying it as a collection. Also, fun thing that I wrote down is there's a Detective John Cho who looks just like John Cho, and he literally puts like Detective John Cho asterisk, no relation to the famous and handsome movie actor.
I like that he'll do stuff like that.
Yeah, he does shit like that. Yeah, there's a lot of pop culture references in his stuff, which is what I also like. That I totally recommend, and yeah, pick it up. Again, if you want to do it, you should do it. It's your choice. It's your life. Live your life. But I do recommend reading it as a trade, or buying it as a trade if you're going to spend your money. Menissa, what'd you read?
Alright, y'all. So I read
Y'all.
Paper Girls
I love when you
number
do that.
8 by Brian K. Vaughan and Cliff Chang.
Yes, Dream
Alright,
Team.
okay. So the reason why it's a throwback is I'm doing my 2 favorite comics I've done so far on the podcast, and I'm bringing them back because they've come out with their, I guess you could say, 2nd season. I read Paper Girls number 8, and so I like this story because basically now they're in the future. All of them are in the future, right?
Right. For those of you who don't know or remember, Paper Girls, the first season was set in like the 80s, right?
In the 80s, yeah. And they ended up
Now they're in present time.
in present time.
Yeah.
The main theme now is kind of knowing what your future entails and how you deal with understanding like what you end up being. Like it's a concept of time. In the beginning it says the only thing that's timeless is time. Or something like that. It was like a weird quote in the beginning, yeah.
I don't know if that hum that I made was hungry
Yeah.
or trying to understand.
It was like, am I... You were like, and in your head you were like, am I hungry?
Because I was like, first I was like, and then I went,
I think the last couple of, first 5 comics were more about development as characters and how they were as teenagers.
Right.
And what kind of their traits were and their, I guess, positive and negatives about them. But now it's more about knowing what you'll become and how you deal with that and how you take it and how that's going to shape you in the face of adversity. It's kind of post-apocalyptic now.
What?
Yeah, it's weird.
And like,
Shit.
everything just went
that's
to
what I was-
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to ask. Like, I remember they were being chased.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this: there are creatures in the place, in the actual area. You find out they're in Cleveland.
Okay.
It's not really like a spoiler.
Is this the one that you guys... Is this the one that like a while back they went into... What was
They're
it?
like in time traveling in this like Oregon thing.
What? Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. You guys are talking about like really weird ship with those guys, right?
Yeah,
that had like the translator or something?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So there are like crazy creatures and stuff. They are in Cleveland, so like it could go either way. And gross.
Hit him with the no offense.
No, there's not 100% offensive. Like Cleveland, get your shit together, man. Like if LeBron James wasn't there, your fucking whole society would be on some like Walking Dead shit. Okay?
Oh no.
Here we go.
Fight words. That seems
Fight
like...
words. All of
Massive-
Cleveland's coming up to us.
Yo, look, find her on
You will
Twitter.
see me.
Find her on
See,
Instagram.
the creatures are actually the weird shit that's there is actually from Earth, which is kind of confusing.
Okay.
But everyone is separated. Mac and Tiff are kind of like their own group. Eric is with Eric, because you see in the end that she ends up, like finding her situation out. There's 2 other girls that they're still kind of you don't really see much of them on in the 8th issue. At the end, you find out that there's a situation that someone is bluffing. And that's basically all I'm gonna say.
Ooh.
Yeah. So there's some yeah. So I think that's the main. I think that's kind of like the where you're kind of seeing like what the main issue is gonna be, the main story arc.
Right.
I like it a lot more actually. This second story arc more than the first, because you're kind of seeing, you already know the characters who they are, and you're kind of seeing like how they're dealing with shit. And like one character really annoys me. I think Mako annoys me the most. She's just such a crybaby. Yeah. If there's something bad that happens to her, like she automatically is just like super negative. Like it was like a Debbie Downer. I really like this. These next couple of issues, I have faith that it's gonna come out to be awesome.
Right. I mean,
Better
that's
the first time.
what I'm saying is like it's Brian K. Vaughan, so I feel like whenever there's like something goes down, he's always gonna do it in the right way. So yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep on hitting it.
You gonna keep hitting it?
Keep hitting it.
What do you say? Oh, Mr. Poopy Butthole?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I sent a Snapchat to my older brother of me and Jared, and my older brother was like, "Oh, Jared's hair is growing," and I just typed back, "Ooh, yeah, he's trying."
Your Midwestern accent. Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, I have to keep practicing that one.
We were playing.
Soda pop.
Oh yeah, came through here around 3 in the morning, eh?
Oh no. Oh,
I don't know what I said. It starts
yeah,
going Irish.
no, that
It
was
starts
Canadian.
going
That was like you. All you were missing was the boot.
But like
You know
that,
this is a boot?
it's on the border of
Hey,
Canada,
you know
so
this
that's
is
why
a
it's
boot?
Don't
there.
even Midwestern.
Not Midwestern, like the Dakotas. What is that region
Dakota,
called?
eh? Dakota drinking that soda pop.
Yeah, that's it. God, fucking Fargo.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Really?
Fargo?
Yeah, Fargo.
No, yeah, Fargo.
Watching
That's
Fargo made me like pick up that dumb accent.
That's yeah.
No, not that it's dumb. Not that your accents are dumb. That I have a dumb accent when I try.
Everyone up north fucking hates us.
This is
They're
a
gonna
disaster.
If my
We need a
body
PR
goes
team.
missing,
That's
it's
what we
somewhere
need.
in Fargo.
We
Buried
need, like,
under the snow.
We need like a PR team that's gonna be like, guys, just
Just stop
Yeah,
talking.
please shut
Just
your
here,
mouths.
just stop it.
Yes.
This is
Just
where
stop
I
doing that.
can't shut the fuck up.
And then we're like, wait, stop doing which part? Just all of it.
Yeah, just
stop,
like no,
just
all right.
we're
You
turning
know that
the
one
camera
part
off.
where you're quiet? We're like, yeah, do that one.
Menissa, just show your tits. More cleavage. No,
Yeah.
less talking. Less talking.
Every time we make a foul, like you just say like, all right, guys, here we go.
Quick question: have you seen any of the stuff that they do, like table reads from the like cast of Rick and Morty?
Yes.
They're always so like incredibly disgusting and gross. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what. He aims for it too. And I
Yeah,
think it's
Roiland?
like yeah, and he makes me laugh because I feel like he does it purposely as a way to try to get people to like be uncomfortable, and then everybody just rolls with it. Nobody's uncomfortable, and I'm like, man, this is
They
just too funny.
because they know. You've seen like the pilots. for-
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god,
or,
did you
like,
see
the
the original?
original?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like really crudely drawn. He's like Morty. He's like telling me if you
He's
want,
like, you gotta go back in time.
you gotta
You gotta suck my balls.
You gotta suck
You gotta
my
suck
balls,
Morty.
Yeah. And then he's like, oh.
If you really gotta save the world more, you gotta suck my balls. And then he does it.
It'll be something stupid. I think it's like the trees missing right in the front yard.
I don't remember.
He
Was
travels in
that
time.
it?
Yeah,
Oh.
they're missing that stupid tree. He's like, but if you want to do it again, Morty, you're gonna have to suck my balls, Morty. So and then he's like, oh, and he's just going at it.
It's so good. Okay, oh gosh, Rick. Okay, Rick.
Wait, what?
This is Rick and Morty.
Rick
Like
and
this is how
Morty.
it started. But it wasn't called Rick and Morty at the time.
It was Rick and Marty,
Marty.
but MHARTI. The whole reason why Justin Roiland,
Marty.
yeah, the whole reason why he made those cartoons was because he was sending them to whoever the fuck owns Back to the Future. He just wanted to get a cease and desist letter, and that's why he took it so far with like the sucking balls part.
In one of the table read ones, he's talking about how like we're gonna make a semen omelet, and everybody's like, everyone in the semen like starts shocked because like, yeah,
Okay.
we're going with this. Like this is what we're doing, and they do it.
Okay, go ahead, Rick and Morty. Sorry, guys. Tangents. The second one that I read is Bandette. This one I wrote a lot of notes for because I read more issues for it. For Snotgirl, only issue 2 is out. Bandette has 12 issues out. I was not gonna
Wait, is this
try
about the
and read
dog?
all. No,
Oh.
no, that's Kinski. Bandette is the one about the thief. Like she's like the modern Robin Hood. So I read issues 2, 3, and 4 to give it like try to round out this storyline and see where it's headed. I literally wrote, I weirdly love this. This story has adult themes. By adult themes, I mean murder. But she's still like very bubbly about it. Like if you read it, she's just very like steal from the poor and give to the rich, and she's just like, oh, I love you. Like, everyone that works with her, I guess, loves her because she's like that. That's sort of the contrast that's happening in the storyline right now. There's a villain introduced, and you find out in the storyline that he's like trying to kill her, murder straight up, and like they show that he has a history of just murdering people to get what he wants, but she's not concerned. Like, she's like, oh, look at him trying again. It's, like, very weird, because I'm like, where the fuck? Like, how is this story gonna end? Yeah, like, just a little bit more.
Yeah, like, you're reading and you're like, can you, like, seriously take this serious?
Like, yeah, like,
he's after you.
He's gonna kill you. Like, how is that not of concern? So that's sort of why I think it's weird for me to like this about the comic book, but I do, because I kind of want to see what it is. The con to that, and it is a big con for me, is I think she's just gonna get away. Like, I don't want the story to end where she just gets away with it. Yeah, and there were no stakes.
Man.
Like, nobody dies. Like, they straight up show this guy murdering somebody. If by the end of it, nobody dies, she's fine. She comes out unscathed. She's still all bubbly and lovely. Like, I think that's what's gonna. That'll be the downfall of this story for me.
It makes no sense. There has to be like a weird plot twist.
That's what I'm thinking, right? Like, that's what you would assume.
Must be fucking
I mean, that's what you would assume, but there's a lot of
that would be a great
that
fucking plot twist.
There's a lot of times that like they have stuff like that in you know, comics, movies, TV shows, stuff like that, and then you would think that, you know, they'd have to suffer some ramification, but they don't.
Yeah.
And I respect things that, you know, actually punish
people,
real life events and stuff like that. An episode of like what is it, Amazing World of Gumball, where you find out that everything they fucking did
affected.
That, like everyone comes back. They're like, oh, remember that one time that we did that thing and like destroyed everything and we didn't have to pay anything? Oh man, it's funny how things just work out for us. And then they were like, no, there's a debt you guys are building up. Kick-Ass actually completely. I mean, we went over this once. Like the guy who wrote it. I think is it
Miller.
Yeah, isn't he like a very
misogynist?
I do respect the fact that like he punishes, like for example, Kick-Ass's dad. Oh well, I mean, for those of you that haven't read it, I don't want to spoil it. Or, like the things that Kick-Ass, the guy himself, like he does, he suffers for them. You know what I mean? It doesn't just go.
Yeah, it's not like it doesn't. There are no repercussions. Right.
He does end up like sort of seeing what it costs to do what he does. You know?
That's what She-Hulk was all about. Like She-Hulk was a lawyer, and it was all about like her dealing with superheroes bullshit.
Yeah.
Because they always get in trouble. Because at the end of the day, like they do destroy shit and they like fuck shit up. So it's like her like dealing with their like behind the scenes of after they save the day, like
oh, that's fucking awesome.
Everything that they get.
I love like the background stories. You watch like Superman or Batman, or you read Superman, Batman, Superman's just like getting thrown around Metropolis. Like, who the fuck is cleaning that up?
That's what I think
all the time.
Superman
I'm like, I was like, that city is demolished.
I think One Punch Man like addresses that.
Yeah.
Because they're like, all right, we got people destroying everything, but we also have like crews that come and fix this shit.
Yeah.
Like, we got someone has to take care of this. Because yeah, man, who the fuck? Like these people are having massive. They do those fights, you know, where like when it's almost like in Dragon Ball Z, they have those punches that hit so hard it destroys like just massive blocks and stuff like that. And it's like, oh no, that's okay because you know people weren't in those buildings.
And when they like crash into planets, I'm like, that's not gonna affect the rotation of the planet.
This is normal. This is fine.
Fucking Ultron, like lifting up a whole city and shit.
And that was not gonna have any sort of repercussion for anything.
Well, let's see how we're gonna work this out.
But that did have repercussions.
Yeah, in the future.
Yeah, because Civil War.
Like, let's do checks and balances on these things. But
just put that. Not even. They're just like, you know what? Put that on the list. Like that's another one we have to take care of eventually.
So that's where I feel like I don't want this story to go. I hope they take that into account. I mean, it's done. It's 12 issues out.
Would you be happy if like when you get to its end, inevitably like they kill her?
That'd be dope. Or if what Menissa said, they were in cahoots this whole time.
Fucking.
Yeah, she's like, hey, don't censor me.
Fucking.
Censor me. I said fucking. I didn't say it.
That tainted love.
The other thing that I mentioned, or I wrote, is the writing is great, almost riddle-like and pompous. Sorry for using that word on you. Riddle-like and pompous, but then interjected with real shit. The line that she wrote was like, she told the other character that she was with to hush, and she's like, the air is already, while they're getting like shot down by snipers, she's like, the air is already thick with bullets. Do not overcrowd it with drama as well. That was like a white snap. I recommend reading it if you want like a fun comic to read. I mean, I haven't gotten to the end, so I don't know if it's something that I would recommend to pick up to add to your collection of comic books for good stories or whatever. But if you want to read something fun, it's like $1 an issue. It's 99 cents an issue on Comixology. If you have the money, you got the time.
Go for it. If you want to.
Spend that dime. I took that long to think of another word that rhymed. Oh, God.
Think about it. You know it.
I know what it is. I can finish this rhyme. Time.
It's just like time, and then the camera just cuts off.
So that was it for Bandette. I recommend you pick it up if you want something fun to read, nothing too serious. But really well written, and the art is great. Watercolor lines, all of that I showed in the last episode. I'll put a picture up if you guys want to see it, or link you down below. We're learning to do that now. Menissa, what did you pick up as your second issue?
I picked up I Hate Fairyland issue 6 by Alternate title is Fuck Fairyland. Yeah, I was really excited about this one, mostly because the first story arc was absolutely hilarious, so I was really happy to see that the second story arc was already out. It's up to issue I think 8 or 9 now. Oh God, I'm gonna stuff my fist with pepperidge farm. So Scotty Young, guys. So Gertrude is back. And better than ever. No, she's shittier than ever. So the first story arc leaves off, and she is the queen of Fairyland. She freaking murders Claudia. So now she's the queen of Fairyland. The entire issue is kind of her trying to be the best queen possible, and what type of queen
she's actually trying.
Not really. She doesn't like responsibility.
Right.
And so, essentially, she's not really doing the best job. All the main issues in I Hate Fairyland are like kind of done fairly quickly. It's more about the comedy than like the actual things that she has to go through in order like to achieve the goal. It's about like how she does it. That's more funny than like the actual process. I like that, but at the same time, like I would want them to go or Scotty Young to go a little more in depth with like all the stories, maybe like focus on like one good story instead of like him just touching base on like all the other things that she has to do to accomplish one mission. That's my main con, but one of my pros is that I really like the pop culture references. Like you had pop culture references. Like there's one part where they were like, spoiler alert or whatever, it's just one line. So she's like, winter's coming. Like the little bee that's the fly that's always following her. And she's like, what do you mean winter's coming? And she's like, that reference is gonna be stark cold outside. But what he meant was like a woman named Miss Winter was coming, and she was like doing evaluations or whatever. Like little stuff like that, like bringing like real world scenarios into Fairyland, I guess. Yeah, and she's still going over the whole mentality, how she wants to be an adult. It's so funny just how ridiculously like upfront it is. Like they don't even try to downplay how absurd and just obnoxious that entire comic is. But I really like it. It's super fun.
This is the great example of like going balls out on a not stupid, but like just a ridiculous story. Just know and own what it is that you're going after. The Suicide Squad, and fucking just do it, balls out. Just make it as outrageous as you can.
I think it's because at first it was just him just fucking around. Like,
he
says like I was just like fucking around writing a story, and ended up becoming like this story arc. It's more of like when you do something like organically rather than you trying to make it into something.
Right.
That's
but like even
the best rating.
Yeah, and he realized like the characters he was creating and sort of like the direction that he wanted to go in was like this like Wizard of Oz tale, but like real life shit where like somebody didn't want to do this. This was not their choice. Yeah, not at all. And she did not have a fucking yellow brick road to follow to the end.
She had like a dumbass fly.
Yeah. That led her around and like for 30 years. Like I think that's such a great concept, and I think there's only one way to do that right, which is just go balls in. Or out.
Balls in. Labias to the wall.
Labias to the wall.
Teabag it.
Obviously, I'm going to keep on reading it. Maybe when the story arc is done, I'll like touch base back with you guys. But really, honestly, pick that up. If there's one comic, if you're into comedy, that I would say to pick up, it would definitely be that one.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see with me. I've been...
We shunned him from this episode.
I've been watching Mob Psycho 100, which is his anime. It has a lot of references to One Punch Man in it. Like you can see, there's a part where like there's a kid reading like a manga, and he's reading the One Punch Man. Yeah, it's just the same creator.
Barbara off camera schooling.
Because I knew it has something to do with it because he's like very prominent everywhere. There's a scene where they're eating at, I don't know where. It was like a fast food restaurant. There's a cup right in front of them, and it has One Punch Man on it. Like it says like the fast food restaurant's name, and then One Punch Man is at the start. And I was like, oh man, it's cute to see him like everywhere. They have a lot of action scenes, like fighting scenes and stuff like that. They're really over the top. I'm talking about like, you know, flying everywhere, throwing people around, like ragdolling like everywhere. You know what I mean? Like when they get hit so hard, the body just kind of like limps out and starts freaking flipping out everywhere. And it has this whole thing about like psychics going on with it. They call them espers. And it's the way that people have like psychic powers and they can see ghosts and get rid of them. It's really cool. I enjoy it. I've been enjoying it, and I like watching the fight scenes a lot. The one thing that's really what really sells me on it is just the main character is one of those. It's nothing you haven't seen before, but it's one of those guys that like he has no idea. He doesn't like to use his psychic powers because he feels like you shouldn't rely on him. So he's like stupid, incredibly strong because of that. Like he doesn't rely on his power. But then, yeah, exactly. But then when he finally like unleashes it, it's like stupid over the top. He's like
Rock Lee.
Yeah, pretty much.
Drops his legs.
Yeah, exactly.
You ever watch his anime?
Yeah.
You know.
And then another one that I want to watch is one called Kurokami or something like that.
What?
It seemed like all I saw was an AMV, and it seemed like a fighting anime. Like it was just this girl that just beats ass. Like she's fucking murdering people. The video I was watching, she was just decimating whoever she was fighting. And I'm talking bobbing and weaving. None of that like yeah, like it was really nice and well done. And I was like, man,
none of that like repeat Dragon Ball fighting.
Yeah, like you know, jump around. It was nice to see like the way it, like there was a flow to it. Like the artwork is really smooth the way that they would move.
I love any animation that kind of just like shows fluidity in the way that they move without using Flash.
Well, I spend a lot of time watching like anime for no reason whatsoever. In terms of like what the artwork is, it's really hard to find something that isn't to your liking, I want to say. Because I feel like with anime you're just going to get drawn naturally to things that are you know what I mean?
Because it is like a style and it's like it's all kind
like if you don't like because if you don't like the way that, let's say like Rurouni Kenshin. If you watch Rurouni Kenshin, you don't like the way the artwork is done for that, then you're gonna steer clear from like animes that are drawn that way. Which I guess like you could kind of say that at that point. Yeah. Or like Trigun. You know what I mean? Trigun kind of have like similar artwork, and that like it looks. I love Trigun. It looks a little. I love Rurouni Kenshin too.
Me too.
It looks like the artwork looks a little dated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what. But then.
But it is dated.
You watch it.
I guess.
Like the 80s. You guys can't even look me in the fucking eye and tell me that I can't draw that shit.
What, Inuyasha? Oh, I used to draw Inuyasha all the time. Me too. Like that was the easiest thing on earth.
I could be the fucking main creative director of that shit. It'll still come out better.
I think the only issue I have with any anime, because I'll watch anything really, but the only issue that I have, because I watched Love Hina.
I love Love Hina. I read all of Love Hina.
Yeah, I love Love Hina. I stayed up. It was me and my brother till like 4 a.m. sitting in front of this one laptop, just trying to watch Love Hina, and not just the first one, but the second part when he comes back or whatever.
Take me off this.
You watched that?
Yeah, I watched that shit. I watched all of that shit. I was like, is he gonna end up with her?
I can't remember if I watched everything, but I read all of it.
One of our favorites is Azumanga Daioh. Azumanga Daioh is just so fucking great. Yeah, it's slice of life. It's basically just these girls that, you know, it's like following these girls and their everyday life like at school. Yeah. So they have this one that's like really spacey and they call her Osaka. And she's the one thing that stands out of my head is she's like sweeping. And you know how sometimes when like you're picking up the dirt with the dustpan, like you leave like a little
line.
You leave a little line, so you back up and you pick it up. You back up and pick it up, back up and pick it up. She literally backs up out of the damn, like she backs out of the room trying to pick up that little fucking line of dirt.
You know what the secret is? To put it on the ground. Not to leave it on the ground. To like put the little dustpan thing on the ground.
Oh yeah, so it gets underneath.
That's funny.
Here we go, guys. We're also giving you cleaning tips on this show. Life hacks. That's our new section.
Life hacks.
Have you seen Air TV?
No.
That's the saddest shit ever. That's the saddest anime I've ever seen.
Air TV?
Air TV.
I don't even know what that's supposed to be based on the title.
I'll read you guys on.
Alright, well while she does that, let me tell you about Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans.
That's what you're watching now?
That was one of the ones I was watching before. This one character in the fucking in the series that cracks me up. So it's about these people who are treated as like I guess like property or whatever. It's kids, not people. It's a bunch of kids that are orphaned, and then they're sent to another planet. I think it's like Mars or something, and they're treated like slaves. They have like no say in anything. They're property. They're just used, and they're expendable. Nobody cares about them. This group of kids, they end up like one of them is like really, I don't want to say just smart, because it's not just smart, but he's capable, you know. So he ends up leading them and forming like their own little group that sort of rebels, and now they're trying to make a name for themselves so that they have money. And the funny part is they run into this one guy whose ship is just full of women. Just, it's all women. Like, there's no man but him. And everybody's like, oh, you know, like, that's weird. So they ask him, like, what's going on? He's like, oh yeah, they're all my wives. Like, they're all my girlfriends, my wives, my whatever. So you're thinking like, oh, whatever, this is just some silly shit. He has kids with all of them. He loves all of them. They all love him. They have like this huge, like, massive thing going on that I was like, this is weird.
This is a Gundam
series? Yeah, Gundam series. What really made it stand out was just that there's a moment where one of the characters, one of the protagonists, he's kind of like oblivious. He's not really stupid. He's just kind of like battle hungry. He's more, you know what I mean? Like, you put him in a fight, he knows how to fight. And so aside from that, he's kind of just quiet. And there's this one girl that like is really into him, but he's kind of attracted to this other character that comes in, this other female character that's a little older. And when they see, you know, like that dude with all the women that he's with, she starts to like think like maybe that's possible for me and him and her. And I was like, what is going on? I was like,
anime.
Yeah, I was like, dude,
always in
and there's not like, you know how usually the love triangle has like a resolution because you're like, all right, he's gonna end up with one or the other. No, they're talking about all of them ending up together. You know what I mean? And I'm like, polyamory is like making it's rearing its head in here, and I'm like, this is very interesting to watch. So the action scenes are great, and I love watching them. But honestly, that one guy has me really hooked. Because I'm like, what's going on with him, and what's going to happen with everyone here?
Me and my sister watched the same yaoi. Me and my sister remember we all watching the same yaoi.
Oh my god.
But we didn't want to tell each other. Like, we were all like talking about the same yaoi, but then, but we were not saying that it was a yaoi, right? We were just using like random character names. And then me and my sister went on stalk. And I was like,
find out.
hey, are you watching this yaoi? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, me too. We're all three watching the same one, but we were so scared to tell each other it was a yaoi. We were super into it. And after we all watched it together. That's how family, that's how you bond.
That's how you bond.
Watching gay anime. Oh yeah, it's about a girl who ends up killing herself in order to like save her boyfriend.
Good God.
In a weird love triangle
situation. I kind of want to watch those now.
Yeah.
But why?
But why?
Yeah, why even? Things I want to mention before we sign out of here. Thank you, shout outs to Cosplay Fame for inviting us to the First Friday event at the CNI Studios in Fort Lauderdale last night. It was a lot of fun. Elias, I'm so sorry you guys had to miss out, but it was really, really fun. Check out Cosplay Fame on Instagram and Twitter. They're really awesome people. They do a lot of great stuff for the South Florida cosplay community. So check them out if you're into cosplaying. Hit them up. Shout out to Raul, Diana, and Parker. Also keep an eye out for that episode. Check us out on social media. We'll keep you guys updated if you want to listen in on me on that episode. I held my own.
I held my own.
For my people. I stayed sober for my people. Keep my family name intact.
You gotta
sometimes you gotta stay sober to keep the family name intact.
You gotta keep the family name.
That's what happens when you're in North Carolina.
Someone has to try to keep it pristine, you know? Yeah. Every time it gets a little dirty,
and if I have to keep it pristine, you know there's a fucking problem.
There's a fucking problem, yeah. Any of us right now had to like keep it together.
Yeah, if I'm like the example of what, you know, my family can give as the best, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, same. Also, if you want to follow us, we're at R Squared Comics on Twitter and Instagram. And if you want to follow our individual accounts, we'll link them all down below. We're going to also link our iTunes page down below so you can subscribe and rate and review our podcast, because that would be great. Hit the like on YouTube, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. If you like what you see and or hear. I'm like pointing at nothing.
Because you're hiding it like under that big ass shirt and the damn
First
hair.
of all, calm the fuck down.
Bro, I'm not happy about
Even
that shirt.
if these were gone, there'd be nothing to see.
Bet. Alright, we're not getting into this right now. This conversation will last hours.
Drop
This
bit for
conversation-
fight. Just lose the number of bit.
No, I stick to bet. I stick to bet for the rest of my life.
And then we all devolve into
Like
ghosts.
slowly.
Just
And
slowly.
was it Black
We
Phillip?
anamorph.
Black Phillip.
Oh my god, here we go. Oh god, we can't make Menissa laugh too hard or else.
She's dead.
All links below, just click them, hit the follow buttons, hit the like or subscribe buttons, hit the rate and review buttons as well.
Hit all the motherfucking buttons.
Hit all the
except for
motherfucking
unsubscribe.
buttons.
Because we will find you.
We will. And we'll come after your mothers.
Alright, let's sign off on this song.
And your buttholes. Your buttholes will be unscathed by the time we
Starting to
leave.
threaten body parts and,
tips,
family members.
And just your tips. Just the tips.
Bad.
With that, we'll see
Okay.
you next week. More of this on our shitcast next week.
Oh.
Signing off. See you next week. Love you guys. Tell all your friends about us. And bye.
Bye.